Hmm. Okay, we are live. Wait. That you gotta work. YOA, you gotta work in 9 hours. I'm starting now, baby. We have a jam-packed show. High raindrops. Happy Monday. Okay, who do you have in the building? Peace and love. Thank you for defending me. Carlos is fashionably late. Thank you. We got Mass B. It's 1 a.m. in Oh, I gotta know what Norway raindrop. It's 1 a.m. in Norway. Okay, I'm starting now. Okay. Okay. Hi, Sun. We got Nate in the building. Um, hi, Nathan. Okay. Who do we have? We got Anthony Buchanan, Jamal Ahmed. We are in here. Yes, baby. We are Mr. Brian. I was in Jamaica, so I feel like I'm a smooth criminal. We'll get into Atlanta Housewives later. Bing! I'm here all night. This episode's called From Peaches to Pistols, honey. No, I was in Jamaica. Baby, from peaches to pistols, child. What? We have a lot to talk about. Raindrops. We got a lot to talk about. It's a jam-packed show. I got people who have 9 hours to get to work, so I don't want to keep you guys waiting. Hi, Sheridan, my queen. I love you, Sheridan. Sheridan was mad at me last week because I did an interview. She didn't like it. She didn't even watch it, but she didn't. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna bring on my guests. My raindrops. The reason why I love y'all so much. The raindrops is a community of thoughtful, thought-provoking, smart individuals where we all don't have to agree on something, and we do it high lino, okay, and we do it in a respectful way. Sheridan was not happy, honey. I was like, Sheridan, child, you be fine. I love you though. I'll get into that later. Carlos, you still like these new girls. We're gonna get into that later. I don't want to talk about this by myself. So clock it. Yes, that's why we're here. There's a lot of team twirl in the group chat. Yes, my hair is good, just so y'all know. I'm just keeping this Jamaican look going. Okay. All right, so let's get started. You guys have been waiting for us. I have a tan. Make sure you talk about Portia hating on Shamia to Mia Davis. We're going to talk about all things Atlanta Housewives. Okay. Live twirls on. Yes, it does. Okay. First things first, let's bring on my boy, the boss in charge. Okay. He has 5 on it, like Drew Sidora. Give it up for Dustin Ross.
Word up, word up, word up. Carlos, you are crazy. What's going on, Raindrops? How y'all doing? Carlos, you look like money. Must be nice. You know what I'm saying? To come back with a tan from a foreign location, throw on some Dior, and hop on your live show. What a life, nigga. What a life. That's what's up. It's good to see
God is good.
Yeah.
Shout out to Marvin Sapp. God is good. And
Marvin Sapp said, run me that. Run me my money. Like Cash Dial said. We gonna start calling Marvin Sapp Cash Dial. That's his new name. Cash Dial.
He not Creflo Dollar, but Cash Doll.
Cash Dial. Okay. There was a different focus there. But what's up, man? Let's talk about it.
We're gonna talk about it. Okay. Me and Dustin's favorite lady in the world is coming up next. The one, the only, the beautiful Claudia Jordan.
Hello. Mm-hmm. Got the sinister laugh, ready to get into some things and talk a little shit with my faves.
That's
What's up,
right.
fellas? Thanks for having me back. I love being here with y'all. It's so fun.
Yeah.
We love having you. How was your weekend, Dustin and Claudia?
Ladies first.
I still ain't got none, but me and my ex went to the casino. We won a little bit of money. Let me see.
Y'all always hit at the casino.
Lately, we hit at the casino, but we ain't hitting the sack.
Okay.
But
did y'all kiss at least?
No, we haven't done anything since 2022. But he's my best friend. So he is. But I'm in the market, y'all. Listen, my birthday's April 12th. I'm going to be in Vegas. Y'all are both invited to the weekend, but it's not going to be that. It's going to be the following weekend, 18th, 19th, 20th. If y'all want to come out there, make a little trip, I'll be staying where I'm staying.
Yeah.
But y'all should come on out. Carlos, I know you, I mean, it might be boring for you because you don't need a passport. I know you do international things. But if you can want to come slum with me and the girls,
I love the girls. I love the girls and I love you. So keep your calendar and your pocketbook open because the other pocketbook, not.
Yeah. You trying to come give me some? I mean, I know you.
No,
I know you're a top, but you trying to give me some birthday top, D? Oh, if I got pregnant, I would definitely keep it in the child support. Yes, I'm in a red state. Yes.
Yeah.
Republicans. We gonna have it, and I'm gonna run them motherfucking pockets.
Y'all actually have a cute ass kid too. Y'all have a cute kid too.
How am I gonna be 52 talking about I missed my period? I got who's the best gynecologist and I'm married to medicine now. Y'all hook me up.
Dr. Jackie. You gotta go to Jackie.
Jackie, hook me up. Let's see if I got one. I just need one egg left. All I need is one. I just need one.
Claudia, would you have my baby?
Yeah. Why not? You're fun. You're rich. Your waist is snatched. You got good genes. I'm worried about the
Let me tell you about this waist. Look at it. So the waist is wasting.
Yes.
I've been trying to do.
Wow.
I don't have a BBL, and I'm wearing underwear. For those who did think I was wearing it yesterday.
Finally.
Let they ass know, Lowe's.
Okay, so
let they ass know.
You got a proper belly button. You don't have one of them ghetto bursts with the belly buttons all long. I dated someone. The doctor said, "Fuck it with you, huh?"
But no,
keyhole belly button. God damn.
Sam, your waist
Claudia,
is smaller than mine, I think your waist is smaller than mine. I think.
Let me see yours. Yes.
Oh,
you have a good waist.
No, it needs to be like 2-3 inches smaller.
Well, speaking of 2 to 3 inches bigger, Dustin, can we see your?
I need a vertical camera for y'all. You know what I mean? Yeah,
he said it hang low.
Show my goddamn body off on this damn.
He said it hang
live
low
right now. What the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying?
Aries
you gotta go to my Twitter for that. Go to just
Aries men be having big dick energy.
Yes, we do, and we can back it up too. I mean, I don't really think it's no secret. Everybody know what's up. So. Thank God. You know what I'm saying?
Dustin, can I tell you, Dustin, can I say something and you won't be mad at me?
No, but you can text it to me.
Was it about our prior conversation, Carlos?
Because I believe in sustainability of friendship. You know what I'm saying? I believe in
sustainability.
You text
it was
me
something somebody told me about you.
Oh, well, yeah, you can definitely tell me that.
What you thought I was going to say?
I didn't know. So I threw the safety net out for us. Okay.
Somebody told me this about you years ago.
It's true. You ain't even got to tell me. It's true.
I want to know. I want to know.
Let's just say I was Dustin. I was told that Dustin has to wear 2 pairs of underwear
for support. That's my dog.
I mean, to me, you can never really. I never really concern myself with the scuttlebutt in these streets. You know what I'm saying? I just let the chatter chat, and then I just show and prove. I think I'm a person who believes in follow through. You know what I'm saying? I could give a damn about the conversation. I just want to put the period on the end of the sentence, or in some cases, an exclamation point. So that's, that's just what it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is what you call big dick energy.
Whatever. I'm an Aries, Claudia. We're Aries. Y'all know Aries gang. We have this Aries shit in common. So
I don't want to say big coochie energy because that's bad for a girl, but I'll say
why not? It's good. It's good. Ain't that good? That's good.
No, it's tight right now.
You wanted big fat butt. Well, this is like a after dark conversation.
You know what? We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Dustin, y'all know your DMs are already lit, but I think after that revelation is going to be even more crazier.
If my family didn't follow me and shit, I would be naked online. I wouldn't give a damn, but I just don't want I don't want that to be I don't want that to be, you know what I'm saying, the reason for me existing. But I would totally be more provocative online if I didn't have that concern. You know what I'm saying? I'm close with my family. It's weird if you do that. So
you don't want your physical attributes to overshadow your intellectual abilities and talent.
Yeah.
Oh, it must be real big then.
No, I just you know, I love being a black man in America. You know what I'm saying? That has been afforded, you know what I'm saying, some of the rites of passage, you know what I'm saying, into a certain club. Anyway, let's just
rites of passage. I'm listening to the language. You got to talk them through it, don't you, Dustin? You got to talk them through it, like breathe.
Well, I talk for a
I
living.
know.
You know I love language. You know I'm a very verbal person.
They be like, Dustin, take it out. It's hurting. Okay, so let's move on to.
And he's like, once we get past the head, it's all right.
You gotta be patient. That's why you
Dustin
need.
says, I'm going to Instacart something from CVS and it'll be just okay. All right. So, anyways, we're going to move on from that. And
CVS downstairs. No, I'm just playing.
Someone said, Claudia is obsessed with D. I am. It's spring. I'm in heat. I haven't had it in a long time. It's like if you are hungry on a desert island, of course you're going to be hungry. But if you feast all the time, you ain't really tripping on steak. I ain't had steak in a while.
And what you're not supposed to be happy to have sex? Like, that's weird to me when people get weird about that. Like, you should like sharing intimate time with a person and showing appreciation in that way. You should like that.
Exactly.
Feels good.
Exactly.
Yeah. For somebody to show you that attention and for you to show somebody else that type of attention, it's a beautiful thing. So
wait, please. And I'm gonna move on to Claudia. Claudia, are you a power bottom?
Yeah, I've said it multiple times. I am definitely a power bottom. Okay, definitely a power bottom.
Well, as the only bottom on tonight's panel, I want to make sure that we get into
who's the bottom besides me.
Y'all motherfuckers is crazy, man.
No, let me tell you something. This is true tea. I love y'all so much. I really enjoyed this Monday Night Live. I was in Jamaica and I was celebrating my friend's birthday. Shout out to Marsha. It's her birthday. But long story short, they said, you seem distracted. I said, I'm planning for Monday Night Live tomorrow. I can't wait to go back. I love being in Jamaica. We had a great time. But I said, I got a plan for tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to seeing Dustin and Claudia. So I am happy.
To seeing you. We saw you getting live on that boat in them leopard trunks when you was dancing and throwing it on that yacht in the middle of wherever you was at. You had on them leopard. I think what was those, Dolce & Gabbana or Tom Ford?
You know, a little Tom Ford. Never hurt anybody.
Yeah,
you know,
Bill
Ford tough.
I seen that.
Hey, Carlos, I had an idea. Carlos and Dustin, both of you. I know I invited you both to my birthday in Vegas. I know it's last minute, but if you don't come, Carlos, you're so wealthy and successful. I only think it would be right that if we could just take a weekend and go to Miami, maybe you can rent a boat and we could just have like a nice bonding experience, just hang out, you know what I'm saying? And just like hang out with you outside of like these boxes. We should do that.
Can we? And we could do like an in-person Monday Night Live.
We should do that.
You know I'm down.
Heck yeah, I miss Miami too. We'd have fun.
Is this a reality with the King Retreat?
Yep, and it could be outdoors. It could be like outdoors. It could be like up on a stage somewhere, like the breeze and shit. And motherfuckers outside having drinks and enjoying the show. Good sound, good lights, nighttime, light it up.
Invite all the raindrops to come through, and then listen. This would be a meet and greet. I think this would be fantastic. And then you could film it, and then you could also put that on social media and monetize. It's a money-making opportunity. Plus, we can meet our people.
Let's hit the road. Shit.
Hey, Raindrops, if you're watching, if you would go, can you put an eggplant in the chat?
Claudia, nothing can go with that.
I know she would pick the nasty emoji and shit. Why you,
and I'm like,
why you pick the nasty?
Claudia, I was actually into it until.
Okay, thumbs up. Boring. Thumbs up.
All right. To my assistant on the Zoom.
Look at the.
Hey, let's look into a live Miami show with me, Dustin, and Claudia.
Look at all the eggplants in the comments. Look at all the eggplants.
Oh my God!
Run them
I
up.
am
Run that
done.
up.
I am done. I am done. I'm done. Okay. The raindrops in Norway have to work in like 8.5 hours. So let's get with
Shout out to y'all.
yes.
Norway.
Okay. So here we go. I want to kick things off first. We're going to talk about Kenya. We're going to talk about Peaches to Pistols. We are also going to talk about. We're going to talk.
I was like, if they don't get Keisha from New Jack City off this motherfucker's Nino, let me smoke this fool. I was like, they don't get. No, I loved it. This was great. This was great.
No,
great Real
we're gonna
Housewives
get
of Atlanta. It was
The
great.
ghetto.
We're gonna get to that later, guys. But I want to kick things off first. We have a couple of topics before that. Okay, I want to get into Garcelle and Bose from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Okay. So, long story short, Garcelle revealed that she quit the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It was a shock to everybody. Bose and Erica Jane were on Watch What Happens Live later that day. Bose did not say anything out of term. But again, what is happening now is there's fans online who are trying to pit Garcelle and Bose against each other, which I do not like. Bose has never, I watched the show, has never said anything out of line in regards to Garcelle and vice versa, right? I like for all of us to be fair. I don't know where this energy is coming from. One thing about the fandom of reality stars, and I've said this before, it's okay to stand for your favorite reality star. I love it. I love it. But don't make shit up just to hype up the person who you find so beloved. Okay? And don't attack. The way Bose is being attacked is so disgusting. And I don't like it. I'm not here for it. But Dustin and Claudia, what are your thoughts, number one, on Garcelle leaving? And excuse me. And now we're seeing that they're trying to pit these two black women against each other.
Yeah, so I don't like that. Of course, I don't like that. I think it was intentional on behalf of a lot of people to do just that and pit, so to speak, Garcelle against Bose. I hated that. Garcelle has meant a lot to black people for a very long time. She's fancy from the Jamie Foxx show. We've been in love with Garcelle. I've known about Bose and her incredible list, her resume and her accolades in the marketing world. I used to work in experiential marketing, so I was very familiar with her career and what she's done. And they're very different women, and they could coexist just fine on that show without any conflict. And in fact, it would have been great to see that on the show instead of them being put into separate friendship groups and set up for conflict. Listen, I was one of those people that was happy to see Garcelle be casted on the Housewives of Beverly Hills. I supported her, watched her every season she was on the show, but Garcelle never was a person who was witty enough or quick enough at the mouth to have some of the positions that she had in that group when it came to group dynamics and relationships within the group. Anytime she was challenged by one of the other ladies, she always ran out of air, fell flat right then. She never really backed up what it is that she had to say, and oftentimes she would be right about whatever the issue was. So it was frustrating for me to watch. I'm sure it was frustrating for her to participate in. I hate to see her go, but I love Bose on that show, and I love seeing her shine. So I just think it's fucked up that they could not figure out a way to run the show together, because that's what I would have liked to see.
Bingo. Claudia, what do you think?
Every reality show, I feel like if there's like a mostly white cast and there's two black women, it's gonna happen. They did it on Celebrity Apprentice. They do it on a lot of other shows, and they just feel like, and unfortunately, black women usually bring the fire to these boring ass friend circles, and that's usually what it is. I think I mentioned it before in the show. Actresses have a more of a struggle on these reality shows than people that are not actresses. They are too much in their head to really flourish with reading someone down, like cutting something off where you say something that you cannot come back from. And you kind of need that viciousness to be on one of these reality shows. You kind of have to not care about what happens next if you really want to like go toe to toe, because you're limited, right? You're too much like, oh, if I say that, Disney might not rock with me. Oh, if I say that, I might not get a job with CBS. And I think actresses like a Garcelle, you know, they're like really like I want to keep it classy. And I like Garcelle. I know some people said they don't like her, that maybe they don't mess with her in Black Hollywood. I like her. And I had text someone from that's friends with Bose and asked like what's good, and the word I got back, and I'm trying to make it where it's very vague, where I'm not throwing anyone on the bus, but they said that she was the worst. I'm like, the worst how? Like, I didn't know that. Like, I've never seen that. I do see some of the people in the comments saying that Bose sat there when Garcelle was getting read down. I don't know that for a fact. I mean, are you supposed to jump in when it's a bunch of white girls and it's just two sisters? I would like to do that. So I don't really know the goings on between them, you know, because Bose kept it pretty classy on Watch What Happens Live. I thought she didn't really give you much.
The same thing.
Right. Like, you had to really be paying attention. Like, she just was like, she kept it very like, I'm not going to trash it. And she didn't. And yet now Bose is getting dragged now for even that. And I don't think that's right.
Yeah. And I think it's what you said. Listen, it's one of those things where you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Mm-hmm. I think Bose, being somebody who was in corporate America for over, 2 decades, understood the assignment in terms of, I'm just going to sit there, eat my food, because if I say something, it's sort of like I'm with this person and against that person. And I think she chose what I would have done. I would have sat there and said, nothing either. Now, a lot of people are making assumptions of what has happened, on the 2-part reunion that we'll see on Tuesday. But again, these are assumptions.
Yeah.
These are assumptions. And if you want to read other people as relates to Garcelle's experience, that's fine. Garcelle, in her statement of leaving, never once mentioned her disdain for the cast. She walked. I thought Garcelle gave a great, graceful exit. She thanked the network. She thanked Andy Cohen. She thanked all the parties involved and said that Andy said to her, the door's always open for you to return. So again, I just don't understand why the fans feel the need to make it something negative when, in Garcelle's defense, her statement wasn't negative.
The one thing I could say, though, if I have to really keep it a buck, is you can't deny that when they did ask Bose and Erica Jane about Garcelle leaving, they both were silent, with one of those silence where it means something. When someone says, how do you feel about Kenya getting kicked off the show? And if I sat there and I was like, you would know that I'm with it. Like, I'm okay
but I'll say this, though. I'll say this. And this is something that I talked about on my audio podcast. We don't know the relationship that Garcelle and Bose had in real life, right? Mm-hmm. I agree with you, Claudia, and I said this on my podcast. Me and Dustin are friends in real life because I reached out to Dustin. I saw this black man doing content. I said, oh my gosh, you're amazing. And I want to make sure that you know who I am, and vice versa. Same thing with Justin Sylvester. Same thing with Funkies. When I see black gay men doing this, Karamo, who I cast on the next 15. I like to give people opportunities who look like me, right? But there's very small in between cases to where all black folks do not get along, and that's okay. It's okay. No. It's okay if they. And again, I'm not saying Bose and Garcelle do not get along. What I'm saying is there could be, to Claudia's point, she didn't say my girl left, but if I'm being completely honest, I didn't see a friendship on that show. I saw two black women respecting each other's spaces, and that was that. We'll see what happens at the reunion, but perhaps in real life, outside the show, they weren't the closest.
Which is fine, right? They don't even have to be best friends just because they're the two black women on that cast. I think that a lot of this is being fueled by people that watch their interviews and watch the show, who are taking what they say or don't say and then creating a determination based on that of how that person must feel. It's not been Garcelle saying, I don't fuck with Bose, or Bose saying, fuck that bitch Garcelle. You know what I'm saying? Where we then know what's up. It's been fans saying things like, well, she was silent, so we know that must mean something is up, which is true, because it could have been very easy for her to say, yo, peace out to Garcelle. She was the first black woman on this show. I appreciate her opening that door and holding it open for me. And I wish we could have been closer, but you know, I hate to see her go. She could have responded in a way that did not suggest tension or suggest some sort of breakdown in their relationship. And the fact that she did not may be telling, but I think it's lame to just look for a way to see a crack in their relationship or make these two black ladies go at it on this show. I just think that's lame.
Also, probably her sitting next to Erica Jane, who's been shady to people, right? It seems like she's kind of in a more an alliance or kind of down with her, how her takes, you know what I mean? Like you kind of get a little.
It's crazy though, because I remember there was a scene on Beverly Hills where Sutton, Garcelle, and Erica had gone to a restaurant, I think it was, and they had it was the most fun I had ever seen. Garcelle, Sutton was acting young. I was like, yo, this is like it was a totally different view on these women, and I wish that could have been nurtured. You know what I'm saying? But that show is so segmented into cliques that it's hard for the cast to just be a cast, which is one of the things I actually love about this season of Atlanta, because it's not too cliquish yet. Everybody's still kind of kicking it right now.
Don't you think? Sorry.
Go, Claudia. Go.
Okay, don't you think that you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't? Like any shows, and I've been on, like if there's another black girl amongst a bunch of white girls, I almost feel obligated, and I want to kind of cozy up to the other black woman. Like when I was on Deal or No Deal, I remember when Meghan Markle came through, I was like, I think she black. I'm like, all right, let me go welcome her. And say,
come here.
Yeah, I was like, hey, let me go ahead and school you. Okay, go to that hairdresser. Don't use that one. That one's gonna spray water in your hair, and kind of show you the ropes. I feel like that's like just our culture to be like that, to look out for each other. Like, hey, man, let me holler at you real quick. You know how it get around here, and you'd have some camaraderie out the gate. But then if you don't like someone based on other things, you're also vilified, like you're cozying up to the white girl. So again, it's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, right?
My thing is, how we know they didn't have that camaraderie. We never saw them argue. We never saw them just straight up tear each other up on the show. They could have very well had a moment. I've had jobs. My last corporate job, I'm not gonna say what company it was for, but it was working in marketing. Okay. And I looked at on my first day, I looked at this guy that was on the staff that was obviously black, and I I thought he was gay. You know what I'm saying? If he's watching this, he's gonna laugh because I'm calling him gay. But I pulled him to the back. We went in the back and shit, and I was like, yo, me and you black and gay, we're gonna look out for each other. We gotta look out for each other straight up. You know what I'm saying? I told him that.
Yes.
And to this day, that's my dog. He was at my comedy shows last Monday. We are still close friends years after we both left that job. So like there is something to be said for the sense of community. You know what I'm saying? That we have to sustain by creating those sort of relationships. So I don't know.
Was he not gay?
Huh?
Was he not gay?
He gay as hell. Yeah. 7 days, not just the weekends. Yeah.
But no, I agree with everything you two are saying. And you know, it's one of those things where when you are the only black person or the only person of color in a predominantly white spaces, the three of us on this has been in that same situation. Yeah. And the three of us, I know for a fact, has always reached out our hand to help out our fellow brother or sister in need, or just to say, like, we know what it is, because there's nothing like being a predominantly white space. You see a black person walk in and y'all give each other a look like,
yeah.
You know, and again, we don't know. I guess we'll find out. But what I will say is, to the Garcelle fans who are attacking Bowles with no real receipts, maybe that energy can be saved when y'all attack people online, when y'all attack reality stars who are black and you're black. At what point is it? Yeah. So if you guys think Garcelle and Bowles should be friendly towards each other because they're both black and white spaces, why do y'all feel the need to attack black reality stars, black reality producers, black content creators online? So you're mad that Bowles didn't say anything, but your response is to attack a black woman? I'm confused.
And I get it.
Online.
Like, talk your shit, but to me, it's a difference between talking your shit, you know what I'm saying, having an opinion, and attacking somebody. Like, those are two different things. I think everybody should express themselves online. Like, that's what the comment section is for. But there's a difference when you take your opinion and then use it as an excuse to attack or be harmful to somebody. Niggas got to chill out with that shit. That's getting like,
yeah. So Team Garcelle and Team Bowles, and I'm sad that Garcelle left. Garcelle is going to be just fine. She was fine before Housewives, and she'll be fine after. She is a legend in this business, and I'm happy that she used the vehicle properly. And I'm looking forward to seeing how Bose continues to run a tight ship on that show, because she gets these girls together, and I love seeing her. Speaking of a tight ship, we got to talk about Marvin Sapp, who ran a tight ship in someone's church, honey. So this is another conversation that I felt was important, because when it comes to Black people and church and tithing, it's a very delicate conversation. And I do feel like a lot of people did not get the full understanding of what was happening with Marvin Sapp. So Dustin and Claudia, Marvin Sapp, heralded legendary gospel singer.
Absolutely.
Never would have made it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, enough said. He was speaking at a church, and he told the congregation that the church needed to raise $40,000, right? And he said in his passionate sermon, lock the doors. No one's leaving until we can raise the money. Now, I'm going to add some context to that, because people like to run with the headline. He said that there's probably, I'm not the greatest at math, there's probably 400 people here. So can each of you donate or tithe $40? So again, it may change things, it may not. But he wasn't asking somebody in the room to give $40,000. I just want to make that clear, because I'm a journalist. Hey, Portia. Hey, Claudia Jordan. So as a journalist, I wanted to make it clear. He was saying that if each person can donate $40, then they can raise $40,000 for what was in need. What did you guys think about that in general? Let me start with Claudia.
This past year, when I was campaigning with the Harris campaign, I went to a church in North Carolina, right? And when I was there, they were so aggressively sweating us to give money. I think it was 2 or 3 times. They even went as far as to have a QR code on the wall where you couldn't say, I don't have cash on me. They had a credit card swiper. And it just kind of took away from giving from the heart. It made it feel very corporate. It made it feel like you will get shamed if you don't. And I got to just keep it a buck. In these times where people are barely making it and a lot of people are not, I think like really pressuring people to give a certain dollar amount, like $40 or $20 to me and you may be nothing, but there are literally people that they are using credit cards to pay their bills and paying 30% interest. And I just feel like it's a little insensitive these days. Yes, the church does need to raise money and we get it. But I think in the Bible, I know, not even trying to quote the Bible because I'm a heathen and I don't know, I cannot quote it, but I did read something where it said that something to the effect of you should give out of your heart and a free kind of free will. And I don't think you should be, even saying 10%, I always felt a way about that. What if I feel I had a great week? Maybe I want to give 20 or that. Like, I don't think you should tell people how much they should give. You don't know people's financial situations. And I didn't like it at all. I did not like it. I think organized religion has always been shady to me. It's always turned me off. And I feel like the Black churches, they know that a lot of Black folks are struggling in this economy right now, and to pressure them and make them feel bad if they don't, when they are deciding between, should I get my insulin medication or should I, do this so I don't burn in the pits of hell as per the Bible? I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Okay, so Dustin, before you start, because I want to do a correction, it was 1,000 people in the church, 1,000 online. He asked for $20 per person. He did not say lock the doors. He said close it. Again, in case that makes a difference. Go ahead, Dustin.
I never would have made it. Never would have made it. Okay. No.
Yeah.
Like maybe I want to give 50, but you kind of turned me off with the aggressive marketing there. Closing the doors. I get it. It's funny. I guess sometimes, these sermons, people say things and they just want to get you emotional. But I didn't like the feeling. I know there was people that were struggling in that church and they were guilted into giving what they didn't really have. My opinion.
Yeah, he might be Marvin Sapp, but he was Marvin Gardens that day, wasn't he? Because he was collecting rent from everybody landed on him in that church. You know what I'm saying? Before they could pass go out them doors. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'll be damned. You may look like the Hamburglar, But you ain't finna rob me, motherfucker. I don't give a damn how good that song is. And I love Never Would Have Made It. I love gospel music, goddammit. But I wouldn't have set for that, man. And I'm a person who believes in giving. When you preach a good word, you know what I'm saying? And that's a service, that's leadership. When you are providing services to your community and doing outreach and helping the people that are supporting your church, I have no problem giving. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even go to church. But if I was there, I would give to somebody like that. But you ain't finna strong arm me, because I think I can beat Marvin Sapp up. So he ain't finna just grab my collar. Give me $20, motherfucker. He ain't finna do me like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. So and one more thing. Miss me with that argument. Kim Burrell got her surly ass up on that interview a little while ago when she got busted surly and portly and rancid.
I knew it.
All of that gurgling. She can't even sing all that gurgling. I don't even like all that. But anyway, she said in an interview talking about this is church. She didn't even say jargon. It's jargon that people don't understand. And it's not. You're either rude or you're not.
I'm trying to be professional.
There's a way. I love the Lord just as much as the next person. You know what I'm saying? But that there's a certain jargon that people just don't understand. The church jargon. No, you're being rude and a mess, Kim. And I hate to see, jokes aside, because I really do love Marvin Sapp's music, and I don't think he's a bad guy. I think people just got a purview in the church, and the soundbite just did not help. He was playing into that, whatever the way they talk to each other in church is, which I respect, but I don't think it was favorable for him. But I don't think he's a swindler. You know what I'm saying? Like people are trying to paint him as. I think it was just a dumb moment, like something he just should not have done. So,
and then I looked him up. He's worth over $4 million as a journalist, Carlos and Portia. and also he has like one home that's like a mansion. Then he has a secondary empty home that's $1 million property. So like he's got it going on. So to him, he's probably like, why can't you niggas give me the money? But you know, for him, he's got bread like that. Literally, people are at a place right now where they're contemplating, you know, getting medication that they need versus paying rent.
Yeah, it was tone deaf. It was tone deaf.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Very tone deaf. So
yeah. So the thing is this. I definitely think when it comes to tithing, I'll speak from my own experience. I do tithe. I do give 10% of my income to a local church in Detroit.
that's
right?
good, Rose.
I am a cheerful giver because, and this is my belief. I do believe in tithing. I have seen transformations based on me tithing. There has been multiple times I'd be like, Lord Jesus, do I have to give this 10%? And again, this is just me. I'm only speaking for me. I do it because I know that it's the least I can do based on the blessings God gave for me. So, but again, I want to let the world know that's me.
Right.
Now, with that being said, money is also educational, right? And I do think the one thing you two said that I agree with is the fact that not everyone's able. You know, not everyone's able. And $20 may not be a lot to me, Dustin or Claudia, right? But that is a lot. Well, you know, in terms of like,
I fight you over a $5 bill myself. I don't give a damn what's going on in my life. You take my $5 on your ass.
You know, so
yeah, I get what you're saying.
So that is something I do agree with in terms of like the woman who may be in the church who's that $20 may have to have been stretched to last her 5 or 6 days or last him 5 to 6 days may have felt compelled to do it. And that's between that person and God. Mm-hmm. But I do think it's one of those things where perhaps it was tone deaf.
Right.
Perhaps the messaging, like you two are saying, is I know things are bad. So, because one thing my pastor says is give what you can, because God knows your heart. And that's why I choose to do it. I give what I can because God knows my heart. So I think if he would have said, this is the outcome that I would like to have. However, like Claudia said, I know times are hard. Eggs are $10. Like Dustin said, it's all about the tone. And I think if he would have said, give what you can based on the level that you can give, God loves you anyway, and he knows your heart. it all could have been eradicated. But
One,
do y'all? Oh, go ahead, Claudia.
one of the raindrops said something. This may change our perspective. Sabrina M. Travel Therapy says this is misleading about Marvin Sapp. This was a year ago, and they were at a conference, and it was fundraising. The majority of churches close the doors for safety purposes to collect. If the event was indeed for fundraising, I get it a little bit, but closing I don't know.
That don't change how I feel.
Yeah, I'm still. Don't be telling me how much I'm supposed to.
I could give a damn, and I'm not even mad at them about it. That's my thing. Like I get it that that's what they do. They ask for offerings or whatever. Like Carlos and Claudia, like y'all said, it's just tone deaf. But that don't change shit about how I feel. I don't care about it being no convention a year ago. What that mean is that's when it happened. That's all that means. You know what I'm saying? That's where they was at. That's it. It's still tone deaf in today's economy, in last year's economy, whatever. It's tone deaf. You know, so.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's a good
Wait,
one.
he wore a $2,000 Dior suit.
See, you can't
Look, Dustin Claudia.
Oh, I know the Carlos King tithing 10% was a lot of money. I want to know how much it was. I want to see the paperwork for that one. I know that had a lot of zeros and not the first letter number. Carlos, I know they like to see a Carlos King coming to a church service. 10% of that.
No, whatever. All I'm gonna say is the first lady of the church. I was going through something recently because I felt attacked.
Mm-hmm.
I felt attacked. I felt a spiritual attack on my life. I'm just gonna keep it all the way real.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a tsunami of and I had to sit still. So long story short, my sisters are also like very much church going women, and they pray for me all the time. But it's funny, they said, Carlos, we need the big dogs. So long story short, they contacted the first lady of the church that I tithe to, who by the way sends me a sweet message every Sunday. She said to me, you need the big dogs, baby. And Claudia and Dustin, this woman prayed over my life, and she did it in such a passionate way. Listen, this is how I feel. This is me. Every amount of money weekly that I have given to this church doesn't even make up for the spiritual love that woman gave to me when I needed it. So it's all been worth it.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
That's sweet.
Shout out to Dior. Okay, so
the Lord made you able to buy that $1,900 Dior sweater vest. Look at God, won't He do it?
That he threw on. Okay, you know, I just put that on.
This old thing.
Anyway, shout out to my first lady and my sisters. I love y'all. Okay.
I love when rich people talk about spiritual. They be like, oh, but it has just manifested.
Anyway,
they had the time to think about it. You know what I'm saying? Our broke asses are trying to figure out what
I'm like,
Rick no.
God is good.
I will do a separate episode about the power of tithing. That's a whole separate episode. I'll do a Sunday, a super soul. Let me not do Oprah Child. I'll do a Sunday series.
Wow.
I'll do a separate Sunday series. Claudia, you are invited to this one, baby. But I love you, and I'll see you on Monday. Okay, so I want to move on to Married to Medicine. Mm-hmm. So Dustin Ross, you are to me the Married to Medicine maestro. So explain to Claudia, Jordan, and I what happened part 2 reunion. We did see a clip that I do want us to address collectively. Dr. Simone and Quad getting into it backstage. But Dustin, give us a highlight of what happened to Married to Medicine, because baby, this reunion's on fire.
Yeah, so I mean, as per usual on the reunion stage, you saw Quad Webb virtually dribbling the basketball through her legs of her dress and hitting nothing but net threes the whole time she was on that reunion stage, tearing Letitia Lunsford up, being agreeable and open to resolve with the other women on the cast, even in the face of pure insanity, because Dr. Simone completely lost control. I think that dress had like wrapped up. She turned around and talked to Quad when it was backstage, and her dress had did like this, and she just started going off, like losing it. And so next thing we knew, she was cussing Quad out, and Quad was responding to that. But all jokes aside, Simone's unpredictable erratic nature has gotten old. It's 11 seasons in. We're approaching the 12th season. And watching her literally act a fool on television has gotten old. And this is coming from someone who has always loved Simone and Cecil on that show. I love how much they do care about their children, you know, whatever their life looks like. I like it. I like seeing this Black doctor buy a house for her kids and drive a, you know, nice car and thrive. I like seeing that. But Simone does not know how to engage with these women on a social level. I think she spent the majority of her young adult life studying and pursuing her career. And then once she got into the hospital, she was married, she had children. I don't think she ever had time to be like a social person. So she struggles with connecting with these ladies. And sometimes her reactions seem a little misaligned or out of place. And that's what I saw when they were backstage. There's a lot more to be said, especially the conversation between the men was incredible. We saw Heavenly's husband Damon get in Greg Lunsford's ass when they were all sitting out there, and that was great to see because Damon stood on what he was saying, and he was very clear, very focused in what he was saying and the points that he was making. And we saw that no matter what kind of passive aggressive actions that Dr. G took, Dr. Damon Kime stayed on message. He stayed focused with what he had to say, and then was also open to resolve, which I think is a very important part of what happens on the reunion stage. You got to be open to resolve if the opportunity is there, and he was. So that shit was good. You know what I'm saying? Basically, I say all that to say, Quad cut Simone out. Simone lost control. Damon went off on Dr. G and embarrassed him, and that was good. Meanwhile, Quad's boyfriend was throwing assists the whole time, like, well, y'all can't say that to him. Because if y'all gonna say it to him, what about you? He was doing shit like that. So they were a good pairing. It was a good reunion. It was a good part too.
Ooh, I guess I gotta stop watching that show because they was wilding the hell out. But I will say, I wish the ladies could take a page out of the fellas' book, the way they were resolving things. Like they were able to get spicy, but still able to like kind of, you know, speak and not just get out of control. I say this all the time. Whoever loses control of their emotions loses the argument. And that's communications 101. You lose control of your emotions, the other person has won. You can't think clearly. You say wild stuff. You say stuff you regret. You're not clear with your messaging. You get off topic. You cause secondary arguments. You know, like you gotta stay in control. And Dr. Simone was not. And she came up very like, I was like, girl, are you okay? Like it was just.
It came out of nowhere, right? Like just like
I'm like, what is the backstory? Why is she so mad? Like, it was very, very, and again,
Yeah.
I don't know the backstory.
Yeah, I want to touch on that. I'm a huge Married to Medicine fan. I've always said it's the best show on Bravo that people aren't watching. I said that like 2 years ago, and I'm happy that people are now getting into it and getting Married to Medicine is very much needed and well-deserved flowers. I want to address Quad and Simone.
Mm-hmm.
Two women I love. I want to have a real conversation.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to Quad, and I said this in my interview with her, and I said this in my interview with Dr. Simone and Toya, Quad was the breakout star of that show. Because I want to give Claudia a history in terms of like the sort of like passionate, fuck you, bitch. You know, it was like, it was some stuff that you say to your friend, you know, for a couple of years and because you love them.
I felt that.
That cast love each other. You don't see it all the time, but they do have this very rich history because Claudia, this season is season 11, right, Dustin?
Yeah, yes.
Claudia, it's the same girls for 11 seasons straight.
Wow, yeah, you probably sick.
You see what I'm saying? Like they have this unnatural bond that most reality shows of ensemble women don't have.
And
because Housewives is more so like you in, you out, whatever. They've had the same cast for 11 years. Damn near. Quad was a breakout star. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not here to talk about it anymore. I did it on my podcast. Fine. Now, Quad definitely had a lot of opportunities. She was hosting Sister Circle, which was a TV, right? This was TV One, right?
Yep.
A TV One show. Now, I said this to Quad to her face, and I said this to Quad in my interview. When Quad got those opportunities, it did appear that she wasn't as close to the remaining cast anymore. And I could see, I'm being real. Y'all know I love Quad, and I said it to Quad already, so ain't no tea. It did appear, based on what I saw, that Quad was giving the girls her ass a kiss.
Yeah,
it did appear that way. And that's what Quad said. Like, Carlos calls me and tells me the truth about how I act. Simone is not over it. Simone has a hard on for Quad because what Simone is searching for is for Quad to get on her knees saying, I am sorry. And although Quad has apologized, Claudia, so many times. More than once to me is too many times, child. We watched Quad apologize at the reunion, and we saw them hug it out. I think at the end of the day, Simone refuses to give Quad another chance because in Simone's mind, and this is how I think she feels. I think Simone feels like Quad still thinks she's better than the show. I don't think that. I think Quad has humbled herself. And I think at the end of the day, and y'all can say what y'all want, I don't care. Y'all brought on this woman's ex-husband that she had, in Quad's words, not mine, that she had a very difficult marriage. I'll just say those words. A very difficult marriage. It is hard for a woman to re-enter a space of friendship knowing that you guys did that. Heavenly apologized. Their Quad and Heavenly are fine. I think Simone refuses to do it because I think deep down inside, she still has resentment for Quad, what she feels Quad's behavior was.
And she told on herself backstage because when Dr. Simone was saying, Dr. Simone interjected herself into the conversation saying, you know, well, Quad wasn't around when they started coming around. She wasn't around us, and she started offering up these reasons, and then she flat out told on herself, and she said, we fucking with the people that fuck with us, so we wasn't fucking with you, and we was fucking with them because we wasn't fucking with you. She told on herself it was 100% intentional. And my thing is, they could heal past that if she would just say, yes, I was hurt by what you did, so I purposely befriended them because I wanted to hurt you back. That makes it all clear. But once you start not saying that, it gets kind of hard to move, you know what I'm saying, with a real clear conscience behind it, or a clean slate, I should say. So I don't know. It was weird to me. Quad's not perfect, but they was wrong as hell for that. And no matter what you got to say about who your favorites are on that show, anybody that sat through a year of their ex's new relationship, not only being flaunted in your face, but then you being ousted from the group, come on, you're gonna have something to say when it's your turn to hold the mic. And so I don't understand why everybody's so surprised about that, but oh the fuck well, I wasn't mad at Quad at all, and I wanted her to get him some more. I was happy to see it.
So it sounds like there was some jealousy when Quad got all the opportunities and was a breakout star, and then a lot of people liked her, so there was some jealousy from that. And then the get back was also when they brought in her ex-husband, when you know she didn't have a good relationship with. Of course, it's going to make anyone feel away. You already have some issues there. Of course, you're not going to trust that. I wouldn't trust that. Like, how did y'all even contact him? How did this even happen when you got my ex at? It's one thing you broke up with someone, it's cool. If it ain't cool too, and I gotta see that every week, of course it's not gonna be easy to recover from that.
Yeah.
My limited knowledge.
Yeah, no, but I think that's why it was that, because for me, it was the deepness of the baritone, Barry White, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
Like it came from like
how it sound low.
Fuck you, bitch. And I was like, well, damn. Hi. You know, that shit was like, but I wanted Claudia to understand like why it got that severe. It was sort of like the last time I heard that was when Nene and Kenya had an argument on Atlanta Housewives.
Greece.
I think were they in Greece?
Greece season 12.
Yes.
Oh no, Toronto in the hotel in season 12.
Where it was they were arguing over Cynthia.
Yes, that was that 12 or 10? That might have been 10.
Let's ask the Raindrops. Was that season? No, that was season 12. It was Eva was on that season. Raindrops, was that season 12? Were they in Toronto or Tokyo or something? Were they in Tokyo?
They were in Toronto in that hotel.
Okay. But Claudia, if you ever saw the clip, Kenya and Nene did this to each other. Fuck you, bitch. Oh, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. But again, Kenya and Nene have history. So that's why you felt it from the depths of their soul, the argument. So that's why Simone and Quad had that.
Charles, I love hearing your deep top voice.
Well, it's a certain someone who gets to hear that every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and sometimes on a Thursday. Depends on the work Carlos King has to do. But on Mondays, I belong to Dustin and Claudia. Y'all are my special friends.
We're
I'm
the
biting
MF
Speaking-
and your MMF, Carlos.
I'm biting my tongue.
Yes.
Try not to tease you as much this week.
Yes. So
Look how happy
Claudia,
he is. I love when someone's like newly in love. I love it. So
who
cute.
said I was in love?
In lust, love, whatever.
Claudia, I am living life, and that is that. Okay, so Dustin, they said season 12 in Toronto. Okay, so that was
cool.
that. Okay, speaking of Atlanta Housewives, let's get into the latest episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
Not Clear's throat. Let's just get right into it. Listen, I know y'all want us to recap the whole episode. I'm not gonna do it, child. We just because
Y'all know
this,
they know what y'all know what y'all want to.
yeah, this is what episode. This is what episode. I watched it. I enjoyed the episode. I want to start by saying that I did enjoy the entire episode.
Me too.
I really, really like Angela Oakley.
Me too. Me too. Me too. Me too.
I like Angela Oakley a lot. And Kelly, you are still my number one favorite newbie as of episode 4. But you're only as good as your last episode. Kelly, I love you, baby. Angela's coming for your spot. I'm gonna tell you I like my Angela Oakley. She's a natural. She's subtle with her shade and subtle with her comedy. She fits right in. I enjoyed the fact that she was open about her mother getting involved in her marriage because she was too comfortable. I love that honesty. And I love the fact that she just seems to not, and I'm going someplace when I say this, we'll get into the next topic of this episode. Angela Oakley is not looking for a moment.
No.
And that's what I like about her. Dustin, Claudia, your thoughts?
Go ahead, Claudia.
I agree. I like, listen, when you can be vulnerable, like I said, my main frustration with reality TV is being pretentious, lying, creating a false narrative, a false lifestyle, a false life. She has a receipt. She's got the NBA legend husband. She's got the, and then also she's not just trying to be there just to like be fabulous. And I got this going on. I got that going on, lying about things. It is what it is. And to have a difficult conversation about real family stuff, that's hard to do. Because after the cameras go off and y'all get your little life from being on TV, watching the episode, they got to really deal with the backlash of that. So that was actually a real conversation. I like that about her. I like that. She's good for the show. And at first I thought, I ain't gonna lie, I was like, kind of boring. I thought maybe he was gonna outshine her husband, because he comes in. He like the kind of 2025 Peter Thomas, like say some shit, stir it up, don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? Stand on what he say. But I really do like her. This episode was good. You're starting to definitely see cracks in some friendships. Portia and Shamia.
Yeah.
Portia definitely showed how jealous she was of Shamia getting attention for her good singing. And I thought that was like a moment that, like, the cameras are on you, girlfriend. Unless it was edited to make you look like that. Acting like, is that your voice? Is that really you? Is that really you? And being confused, fake confusion about it. That wasn't a good look for you. If that's your girl, like up until now, we've seen no reason for you to turn on Shamia. So why would you do that to her right now? I just thought that was really fucked up to be like that. Like, everyone else is like happier for your best friend than you are. And that's one thing I did not like about that episode.
Yeah, I'm with Claudia on this one because I felt like it was reminiscent of when Nene and Cynthia had that disagreement when they were in Savannah on the Housewives, and Nene was telling Cynthia she was letting her daughter be too fast or whatever, and it made Cynthia get emotional and she started crying, and Nene was really just oblivious to the emotional damage she had done in that moment, and it kind of reminded me of that. I hate to see people take dominance over another one of their friends emotionally like that. I don't think that's cool. So I didn't really like seeing Portia ask some weird ass questions when Shamia was playing her song, or just interrupt people listening to the song for whatever her reasons were. I didn't like that. But overall, I'm enjoying this season. I'm thoroughly enjoying this season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Kelly, I think, is a standout new housewife. She has a great personality, and her and Angela seem to really understand the space. they understand how to be housewives in their own way. Angela is a little bit more understated, but just as impactful. She's always smiling. I have not seen her yet not smile since she's been on the show. Even when she was having her back and forth with Shamia, she had a smile on her face the whole time. It makes it easier to digest, right? We need to talk about Kenya and Brit.
Oh, can I just say something real quick? I also really enjoyed the Kumbaya moment with the olive branch.
Oh yes,
That
yes.
was cute. That was cute. That was
We need
cute.
to see some of that. It can't just always be on 10. And this episode maybe not enjoy Brit as much as I've enjoyed her in other episodes. I know we're gonna get into that, but I have definitely thoughts on that.
Yeah, and I wanna get into, okay, there's two things before we get into Kenya and Brit of it all. I want to get into Kenya's scene with Kelly.
I loved it.
Listen, everyone knows I'm friends with Kenya, right? And so is Claudia as well. Kenya isn't the most she doesn't wear her heart on her sleeve, and there's conversations Kenya has had with me personally that I do tell her sometimes, like, oh my God, you should like let the world know that, you know, but it doesn't. Kenya's very, and listen, when we learned about her childhood and her mom, we all had a greater understanding of why Kenya is a hard, tough chick from Detroit, right? I was surprised Kenya mentioned on camera how much she gave to build this hair spa and her feeling concerned about the investment, because that's something that me and Kenya spoke about privately. And she cried to me privately. So I'm bringing this up because Kenya and Claudia have known Kenya for years. Kenya ain't no crier, right? So the reason why I like Kelly a lot too is because Kenya must have felt so comfortable around Kelly's authenticity and her natural way of talking about her experience with her husband that made Kenya relate to Mark. I was pleasantly surprised that Kenya allowed the world to see what I get to see behind closed doors, because anybody starting a business, it isn't easy. And when Kenya made the comment of, how do you get people to come in the door? Like, that's some real life shit that boss women on these shows don't talk about. And when I try to tell reality stars all the time and they don't listen, but whatever, some do, some don't, is it's okay to say I'm failing, because the audience wants to root for you. We got to get out of this mentality that everything's great. Everything's fine. We're missing moments where someone can say, I put in $400,000 and I'm not seeing a return on my investment.
Facts. Everyone, the fact that people think that the public is buying that everyone that has a business on television is super successful. All businesses have to go through some stuff, especially those kind of businesses, restaurants. Those are very difficult businesses to maintain. And I like that she showed that, because like, I think Kenya saw the move early on when she first got on Housewives, and that she was going to be perceived or edited or whatever, seen as a villain. So she leaned into it like, well, I'm going to be mischievous. I'm going to stir it up a little bit. And she's a mischievous person. She really, really is. But I like that y'all getting to see some stuff that Carlos is speaking on, because she's not one dimensional. And trust me, I've had friends that say, yo, I met your girl Kenya. She was really rude to me when I met her. And I have had to have conversations. Like, trust me, I hear what y'all say. But like, just like in your lives, not just y'all two, but everyone out that's watching, we have more than one layer and one level. And depending on the day you saw us, well, you may have caught her on a bitch day. You may have caught, and I'm not making an excuse for her, because I don't think it's cool to meet people and to come like rub them the wrong way. But I will say this, like, people are so shocked that she has this vulnerable side, but she does. She's a human just like everyone on this panel is, and everyone that's watching. And I do like to see more of that. I think she should do more of that, because that's who she is. And, you know, it's okay to cry, Kenya. You've had a horrific childhood. And most people that have mommy issues, which you do have, rightfully so, are going to be abrasive, are going to be, if you haven't worked through your issues, which she clearly hasn't. You know, I like that moment, and she should do more of it.
Yeah. And I was also very, very glad that made the air. You know what I'm saying? I was happy for her. I know she's having an abbreviated season. And she's gonna leave early. I think next week is this might be her last episode this season. So I was actually very, very glad that they showed her salon and even told that part of the story, right?
Right.
Since she is appearing in the capacity of a guest this season, I was glad because I know she probably had hinged a lot of the success on her salon rather, on the promotion of it being shown on the show. So I was glad she got that moment. And after seeing the exchange that led to what was rumored to happen next week, I haven't seen the episode, so I don't know. But after seeing the exchange, it offers so much more clarity as to like how they kind of got to that point. And I just think that everybody took it too far. I don't think Kenya needs to be fired or suspended or whatever the case is. I don't think that Brit was going to shoot her. You know what I'm saying? I think Brit was talking shit and took it too far. Kenya took it too far per whatever guidelines and standards of behavior or whatever they have, code of conduct they have over there. And it just got out of control. But I think this is something that really could be resolved and fixed, where we could get Kenya back on cast and get a complete version of this story being told. There's so many obvious holes in the story that we're not getting, and we can recognize the absence of Kenya in the show in that way. And it's not about her being my favorite on the cast. She's not, but I appreciate her on the cast, and I actually love what she brings to it. And I recognize the fact that she's necessary for this thing to really roll how it can roll. So I just hope she's at the reunion. If nothing else, they need to let her come to the reunion.
Well, okay, so let's. Oh, go ahead, Claudia.
I just saw a comment. Someone said, "How Ralph get a confessional instead of Kenya?" And I totally agree with that. Like, we need that part of the show. That is missing. We need it. And after seeing this episode, listen, I was there that night when this stuff happened, but I left a little early before the reveal. I went to Kenya's opening just to support. I was in Atlanta. And like, she was so excited, whatever. And when I heard, "Girl, when you left, oh my God, so much stuff happened from other people," I thought, oh my God, that is so messed up. What a bad. But now that I see the season unfolding, it seems like Brit's been wanting to have a moment with Kenya. Like, I think she's taking Kenya's playful stuff that she does a little too seriously, what bitch? Like, she's so ready to buck. Like, you're on 10 out the gate. Like, why are you so on 10? And I think that's a mistake that women make going on the show. Let me go for the one that's top dog or the queen or whatever, so I could get my moment. And look at Angela Oakley, proving it wrong. You can sit back, chill, and when you get your moment, get your moment. But for you to just come out there so hot, it's making Brit, like, all the good things I thought about her the last few episodes is out the door. I think she's extremely ghetto on the show now. I think she declasses the show. She brings it down. It's giving baddies. It's giving love and hip hop. It's giving, like, why are you fighting? Why you're talking about a gun on a show where people are drinking mimosas? Like, what are you doing? I thought that, like, she really did not do herself she did herself a disservice. Like, you had your husband there. You're going to be fine. No one's attacking you. To take it there because you got called a peasant on a reality show. Do you know the Real Housewives and all these other shows? You have to be a wordsmith. You have to be someone that can, like, jab with your words, and you're going to get called some things. And if you want to, like, your first response or instinct is to, like, talk about, I got a pistol, and then later on cry on the internet and say you've never had a fight, girl, you need more people. Because now you look like, are you really hard or are you soft? Because now I can't tell. You know?
Yeah. Okay. I have a lot to say about this. Okay. So I did my episode 1 recap solo because I wanted people to really hear it loud and clear from me, and then we did ours together. I said episode 1, I love all the girls. I said so far, I love everybody. I love Kelly. I love Brit. I love Angela. Shamia, who I've known for years. I'm loving her. I love all the girls. I like Brit. I like Brit a lot. I'm going to be very honest here as I talk about Brit. Brit is great for television, right? She has the personality and the look to be on TV. She has the look, and you can't deny that. She has a look, and I like her personality. What I saw, what I'm seeing out of Brit so far, and this is me being unbiased, because I like her, and I still like her even today. I like Brit today. Brit is doing what some new reality stars do, and that is, Brit, in my opinion, I like you a lot. You're trying too hard to make fetch happen. And the reason why we love Angela Oakley, she's not at all, like, loud or, like, Rita girl. Angela comes in as herself. And again, it's the golden rule I tell every single reality star. Ask Claudia. Claudia said, you want to do Housewives of Atlanta? I'm like, yeah, do it. What you want? I said, Claudia, what you just gave me after hours at this club, if you're that. Just be you. People underestimate being you. The reason why some of these girls on this season are being beloved and some girls are being attacked is because you're being too conscious of the camera and you're trying to make a moment. Brit is trying to find something with Kenya. And I know Kenya Moore as a professional, and I know Kenya Moore personally. Kenya Moore was not shading you when it came to that wedding band. You know when Kenya Moore is shading you. When Kenya Moore put Kim Phil's chair, that was shade. When Kenya Moore told Portia season 9 before they went glamping, you're in anger management. Should we be concerned? Are you on medication? That's called she's shading you. And she letting me know she's shading you. We know when Kenya Moore is shading you. When Kenya Moore had Nene Leakes season 6 as the honoree of her masquerade ball and Nene never knew about it, it was so iconic. That's Kenya being shady. Kenya, we are fans of this show. We know when Kenya Moore is being shady because when Kenya Moore is being shady, there's a twinkle in her eye. She gets a little twinkle because she's loving what she's about to do. When Kenya Moore told Sheree, when Sheree told Kenya Moore, get on my level, and Kenya Moore duck walked and said, I'm on your level now. I'm on your level. Is this low enough to be on your level? That is shade. Brit, I like you a lot. I'm sorry. Kenya Moore was not shading your wedding band. That is a weak read. It's a weak excuse to constantly talk about this woman. She gave you a fucking hug when y'all sat down and you said, oh, the taps? I'm like, Brit, I like
she
you,
was
baby.
looking. That was a reach. Like you looking for a reason to be mad. Like she's supposed to tongue you down. Like she.
I think it's more of her.
Hollywood.
I think that Brit walked into this situation becoming a cast member with a lot of preconceived notions. And I think that she was expecting a certain reception or lack thereof from Kenya Moore. And she was on the defense from day one. And even her saying that, she was looking for an opportunity to not let to show herself. How can I even articulate this? She was looking for a moment where she could prove that she wasn't going to take it from Kenya. You know what I'm saying? And that's it.
Yes.
So she's not.
I'm not gonna be that girl.
Yes. She's waiting on a chance to show her that, and she's playing to the fans. She's playing to the commentary in the audience. She's approaching it as, or it appeared as if she was approaching it with the purview of a fan, as opposed to someone who felt like they had a sense of belonging on the cast and wasn't concerned with how everybody was. They were just entering the space being themselves and letting the chips kind of fall where they may. And I think that's the difference between her and other, like Kelly, who seems to be comfortable in no matter what scene she's in. Angela, comfortable in no matter what scene she's in. Shamia, comfortable no matter what scene she's in. I think that's the difference with Brit. Brit is beautiful and she can very easily, there's a space for a pretty ice queen, you know what I'm saying, on the cast, who can have a good look and, you know what I'm saying, not really fully connect with the cast, but still be present. She could play that role and kind of take ownership of it. But instead, she's taking this like combative, adversarial kind of positioning or using that as a compass to like navigate how she moves in the group. And it was not good. It wasn't appealing.
If the raindrops need more evidence of this to think, oh, you're just defending her because you're her friend or you like her or whatever. I hardly ever talk to Kenya. Our entire friendship, once a year, maybe we talk. I haven't even spoken to her this year. It's been a while. Okay. So I'm not coming from that area. Even when they were reading questions that was supposed to be anonymous, when Brit got to her question, she asked the question, can you talk to Brit in a respectful way? And Kenya said, I talk to everyone in a respectful way. That should have been the end of it. But then Brit used that opportunity to double down and re-question her and use that as a moment to grill her. And Kenya's like, girl, like we've already, like, what are you doing? Like you're showing personal issue. Personal moment. I want a moment with you. Well, why won't you? She was trying to check her, and Kenya was still keeping it light, light and kind of fun spirited. And Brit was doing too much, and I could see that being irritating. And then the gun thing, then where's my husband that loves me? Like I hate when girls think that having a man is a read, because that same man that you do that for, I'm not saying with her in particular, but when women do this, they tend to get embarrassed later on down the line. And if you're hanging your hat on just having a man, honey, that is a big mistake, because these men will embarrass the fuck out of you one day. They may.
And my thing was all that chat talking in the parking lot and on the other side of the door and shit. Like, Brit, just go up to her and have a conversation, man. Like, just go up to her like, Kenya, what's up? I don't like how you was talking to me, bitch, and we finna go for it. You know what I'm saying? Do that. At least like bring it to her instead of standing within earshot. You know what I'm saying? Saying things to try to goad her and entice her into an argument or whatever. That was just a very amateur play. She is a new housewife, to be fair. This is her first time on this, you know, in this setting. I don't remember seeing her on any other reality shows. So like maybe she's just getting used to the environment, but that just was not the way to go. And I don't think it left a good taste in anybody's mouth. Yeah.
No, it did. And listen, I like her and I still like her, but you can't admit when somebody is wrong. Listen, we'll get into this next week. We know what Kenya did. I'll say it now before next week, because I told Kenya to her face, Kenya was wrong in how she responded to this. Kenya was wrong.
What was on the posters, Carlos?
We'll talk about that next week, Dustin.
Okay.
But Dustin, I said to my friend, what you do, you were wrong, period. And Kenya admitted she was wrong. She said on Tamron Hall's show, what I did in response, I was wrong. Kenya, listen, you can say what you want about Kenya Moore. She's not a liar. So when Kenya Moore said she felt threatened, listen, I've been a part of that show, Atlanta Housewives, for 9 seasons. I have never heard any of my girls in the midst. First of all, it wasn't even an argument.
It wasn't.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't. Brit, listen, I like you, Brit, but Brit, we're going to have a real conversation. Brit wanted a moment. She was feeling herself, and Brit did not want to be that girl that got dismissed by Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore has been on that show, and what I'm sick and tired of is people disrespecting Kenya. And take that how you want. When it comes to Kenya, Kenya was wrong for pulling Kim Fields' chair.
Yes.
Kenya will admit, she said on Cocktails with Queens, she apologized to Vivica Fox.
And she reached out to me about it. She wanted to do it, just so y'all know. She wanted to do it.
Kenya knows when she's wrong. When I saw what happened, nothing Kenya Moore did warranted that ammunition, pun intended, of being displayed. Not you like that, Dustin? Not just once, but twice. And it was like this. It was
weird as fuck. It was so weird. Like, where was that coming from? Why was she speaking about that stuff? Why was she trying to? It was like she kept saying shit to try to entice Kenya into a verbal back and forth. Kenya was ignoring her, and so she kept going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper with it. Whips. Who the hell has whips unless they finna fuck somebody and do some sexy shit or whatever? And I ain't into that. I hate all that. But like, who has whips? Don't nobody have a whip as a weapon. I done seen a lot of street fights. You know what I'm saying? And I've been to Atlanta a lot. I ain't never seen a motherfucker pull a whip out outside.
We're from Michigan. We don't see that.
I ain't never seen that. So I just felt like it was weird and misplaced. And she just was amped up and just hell bent on having a button bumping heads with Kenya. And I hate that it resulted in Kenya being removed from the cast, because not only did Kenya lose out on an opportunity to be a housewife, we fucking lost out as fans. We're missing so much of this story. We're
missing one of the force multipliers on the show, because
we're missing it. So all you people who have been saying that the show is lacking a little bit of this and that, that's it's missing. Kenya Moore. And I don't know what they thought they was doing by bringing Phaedra back, because that's not going to do anything but make it worse.
Waste of money.
Yeah, waste of money, waste of time, nothing but facial expressions and Loretta Lynn cosplay.
And weird ass smiles, but no talking showing. I'm going to say this. I get sick and tired of, like, you know, people like to come for Kenya, and Kenya does stir the pot. Let me just go ahead and say that. But Kenya also is one of the rare people that actually does apologize. A lot of these other girls never apologize. And y'all be like, but she my fave. I like her. Y'all don't understand. That's my fave. And I don't like that. So I do think there's a little bit of unfairness and a bit of a double standard when it comes to Kenya, because she's this beauty queen woman. You know, it's easy to make her a villain. It's easy to like, oh, you ain't got a man, you're bitter, you're this, you're that, you're this, that, and the third. But you cannot say that. Kenya does not. She does apologize for things that she's done wrong. She does admit, yes, I was wrong. And a lot of times she took the heat for this thing. I know her. And yes, I only talked to her like once a year. I did not know about this thing with Brit until I watched the show this morning. Okay. So she held that and took all those L's, people talking shit, talking about revenge porn. And she did not say, but she did this to me. She never said that. Well, not that I know of. And she just took the L. And when I watched it today, I said, this is a motherfucker right here. This is messed up. And when I saw that, what Brittany said to me was enough. They both should. If you want to suspend Kenya for her, how she revenged the girl, the revenge porn, whatever, and we'll see next week. Damn sure Brittany should have had some kind of accountability for running to say some shit about having a pistol twice, not once, but twice. And I kind of want answers, Bravo. Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? I don't think that was right at all.
I also think people got to slow up with defining certain actions as certain like such damning things, right? Like you see how people are calling this revenge porn or whatever, and abusive and just all these buzzwords. Motherfuckers got to be careful with that shit. You know what I'm saying? They trying to put something that damning on her and her reputation and her character. Now, I'm also not finna sit up on this screen and cape for Kenya, and I'm not saying y'all are, right? But I'm not finna act like I don't understand why people don't like Kenya. You know, Kenya has not been perfect on this show. She has not been an easy person for these women to get along with. She has hazed several of these women when they've come in new. She has been rude. She has been blatantly disrespectful. She has done a lot of shit, but she also has been vindicated more than once in a lot of long-standing, long-running conflicts with these women, and I have not seen her lie yet. So to me, she just deserved more of a shot in this season. I really hope Brit gets it together, but I just, when she started lying or, you know, making casual threats about having a pistol and then lying about it online, saying that you would never, and I have never, and us first to only see it play out on TV right in front of our face, that's not really helping. Again, it's her first season. I'm gonna try to give her a little grace as a fan and a viewer, you know, and give her a shot, get to know her, because I am really enjoying this season. But that was not the best start for me. It was.
Yeah, and I think it's okay to, and that's the beauty of us talking about it. No one, I'll go on record saying I'm not saying Brit should be fired. Carlos King is not saying Brit should be fired. I'm not saying that, but you can like somebody and say, Brit, I don't like that. Just like I don't like what we're gonna see with Kenya. One thing that we saw in the coming attractions for next week is Brit wanting to apologize to Kenya. And this is the part that I felt a pit in my stomach. It's unfortunate that Brit was allowed to offer an apology to Kenya to begin with, based on what she said in this episode. It's unfortunate that Kenya was not able to apologize for what she did. And it's one of those things to me where it's so grossly, you know, mismanaged when it comes to how two people who did something not right, they both did something not right, they both could not sit there woman to woman and apologize to each other and move on from it. And it's unfortunate that Kenya wasn't given that same level of grace.
And I think that, sorry, Dustin.
No, go ahead, love.
I won't be long. I think with this whole revenge porn thing, I actually think it's not technically revenge porn from the little bits I've heard and seen. I will say that allegedly these are pictures that Britney supposedly already put online herself. Revenge porn, I had a revenge porn case and I had someone thrown in jail over it, is when intimate personal pictures that you have not put out there gets put out there and used against you. When you post pictures that are out there, but I don't know, let me not speak outside of my neck if I don't really, but when there are stuff that people saying that there were pictures that Brit already put out there or that were already out there that Kenya
Carlos won't tell us.
Put a spotlight on.
This motherfucker
because I need to see what's being shown, child.
Right, because I did hear like there are pictures of her rocking the mic, right? giving dome. But then I'm like, was that really on the posters? We don't know. But I will say this: if I put some nasty pictures of myself out there, or had an OnlyFans or whatever, and you take those pictures and you show them to other people, I don't think that's the definition of revenge porn. I think if me and you have a relationship and we have private photos, or you get private photos of me in a compromising position that is not intended for people out there. From what I believe from my case, like that's what it was. But I'll have all the legal.
We're gonna find out next week. And from my understanding, listen, I think more than likely this will be a two-parter based on what happens at Kenya Salon. So for the twirlers, you'll get to see Kenya for maybe 2 more episodes. And then we'll learn her fate. But I mean, Dustin, there is tons of rumors around what happened. I like to make sure to protect the integrity of the show by not disclosing things that haven't been aired. But I will say this: I was aware of the comment Brit made, and Kenya told Tamron Hall the same thing. So we kind of knew, and we got a chance to see it. And again, in a perfect world, I would have liked for Brit and Kenya to sit in a room, whether it was off camera, on camera, and to see how they both were able to move forward, because they both did something that was wrong. Based on what I've seen, Brit is looking to apologize to Kenya, and Kenya said on Tamron Hall's show that she was wrong, and she apologized to Brit. So
that's all you can ask for. I will say this: I'm sure that there were conversations that have been taking place between Kenya Moore, her reps, and the powers that be with the show pertaining to her participation on the show. I hope her approach was not what it was in that tweet that she made last night or either the night before, where she was saying, as the longest standing person on the show, to be threatened with and to have be done this way. Don't nobody want to hear all that. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to make these people have some sort of reverence for you as the longest standing. That's not what this is. Stick to the issue, stick to what happened, and plead your case. Make sure that these people know you are open to resolution. You did this because of what she said, which you knew you were going to be vindicated on, because you knew what the cameras caught. You knew what you heard. So I understood her silence, but it's just the haughty, how could you do this to me? I'm the long standing. That's not helping when people already think you have an inflated sense of self and that you treat people like you're better than them on this show. That's not helping. So you need to be adding to the dialogue in a way that will lead you back to this job that you want. You know what I'm saying? It'd be different if Kenya was like, I don't give a fuck. They threw me out. It's all good. If they call me back, they do whatever. She's angry about it. So you need to approach it the right way. You know what I'm saying? To make your case known. Like I just, that part was frustrating for me. I want to
read it. I want to read what Dustin's saying. Claudia, I want to get your thoughts on it. So Kenya Moore tweeted, being the longest standing RHOA member threatened with whips and pistols by a newcomer 3 weeks into filming. Seeing this obsession play out is scary. I wanted protection and assurances that the threats will be taken seriously. I may be strong, but I'm not bulletproof. It's so painful to see my storyline being told by someone else. With that said, I really appreciate Kelly being so kind and supportive to me. Candace Dillard-Bassett from Potomac commented and said, they always want to try and humble you when you're smarter than them and they're goons. Kenya deserves better. That's all I'm going to say about it.
I think that, okay, again, revenge porn is never good, even if it was told. I think Kenya's really also good at towing the line. Like, it wasn't technically that, but it kind of was. Like, I mean, she's definitely good at that. As I gotta say that she's good at, like, well, technically, by the definition, it really wasn't that legally. She is really good at that, and she will toe the line. She will go to the edge of the line and to where she can go 1000%. I agree with you, Dustin, what you just said, both of you, or what you just said. It doesn't help her. Like, sometimes you got to apologize for stuff, even if you don't feel like you're wrong. Yeah. And that happens a lot in reality TV, just to kind of get through it. I think that she feels justified. And now that I see this episode, I can see why she feels like, fuck her. It's all in. It is what it is. Like, you did this, fuck it. I'm going to embarrass you. You threatened my life. That's way worse than me showing pictures. I can see how in her mind, whether that's right or wrong, I can see why she came to that. But when you look back in it, when you hear about it, it sounds awful. It is awful. It is awful to put the
This
picture.
is what I meant. Everybody got mad at me, right? When I said that Kenya had a dark energy on that first episode of the show, the first 2 episodes of the show, and it seemed like she was just chiming in, right? That wasn't necessarily a fair comment for me to make because she did not get her chance to have her side or give her say. So all we got was scenes of her chiming in or having an opinion on something. We never got to see her confessionals or her personal scenes or none of that. But this is what I mean about the difference between the energies on the show this season. Look at how this it wasn't even a disagreement or argument. This weird situation has now snowballed into people being removed from the show and the worst allegations. You know what I'm saying? When Angela and Shamia was having their moment, they was trading insults and we laughed about it. She sent her olive branch and like it was done. That's a different kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't know if the synergy of that would have lasted. Well, it didn't last the whole season. You know what I'm saying? Because Kenya's leaving early. I just wish we could have gotten a chance to get a lighter season from Kenya. I think she was a lot of fun in that scene, that one-on-one she had with Portia. I think that she was real vulnerable in that scene with Kelly. I just wish we could have got more. I hate that we're ending our Kenya experience this season on a negative note. Because I really wanted a fun, good season from her this year, and we didn't get it. So I hope she's at the reunion because I feel like we got robbed.
And also on these shows, and Carlos, you can definitely speak to this. Once you're not deemed a housewife, a lot of probably the fun stuff that we could have seen for the first 4 episodes is not going to make it. We're not going to see her and being filmed solo or in a housewife capacity because she's not a housewife. So all the fun stuff that she probably was given, we don't see. So we got to judge her from the first couple episodes and be like, oh, she's coming off dark and grouchy and stuff.
Right.
When maybe that was a moment in the 4 episodes, and maybe
you're right.
You know what I mean? Because that's the thing. Like I remember, like until you're the housewife, they only show you in all casts, right? Or just scenes with the housewife. So maybe she got cut.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is true. Because Kenya's not a housewife, that's why you don't see any confessionals. Kenya Moore did not film.
But Ralph.
Yeah, I mean, but look, Ralph is still on the show. I just wanted to make it clear that Kenya never filmed the confessional.
Mm-hmm.
She never filmed one.
Okay. Oh, so she never made it to that. Wow.
She never made it to that. So that's why you don't see a confessional from her. But look, based on what happened this week's episode, I think Atlanta is going to be the talk of the town for the next couple of weeks. And next week, we get to see the most anticipated moment in Real Housewives of Atlanta history. That is happening next week. And I will be talking about that with Claudia and Dustin as well.
Come back.
Claudia, you want to come back next week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Carlos is my rich friend, so he doesn't ask me back. Like his assistant, I get a text from his assistant, and she'd be like, "Hey, girl, are you free on Monday?" I'm like, "Yes," but he don't hit me himself because he's way too big of a celebrity now.
Claudia, don't act like me. You and Dustin are in a group chat.
We are, and I like.
We talk almost every day on the group chat.
I would like an invite to a boat. Can we do that?
Okay, fine.
Can we do
I'm going. I will work on that. I will work on that. So, Dustin, Claudia, anything you guys are working on that you want to let the raindrops know about?
Yeah, you can catch my podcast with Ebony K. Williams, Holding Court with Ebony K. Williams. We are now releasing twice a week. So we release on Wednesdays and Fridays. So that's twice a week. You can get your Holding Court fix on all things legal news related. And I'll see y'all motherfuckers next week. Y'all know what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's all good.
I'm going to LA Tuesday. We have games women play. We have LA Friday, Saturday. Please get your tickets at gameswomenplay.com. And then Oakland on Sunday. Then we go to Detroit, your hometown. Carlos will be in Detroit, and then Columbus, Ohio, actually for my birthday. 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th will be in Columbus. Also, this is the last, we have a prom coming up on April 5th, and I'm, raising funds. If there's anyone out there that wants to make a small donation, hello, Carlos. The link is on my page. I have sent it out to a few people, and it's we go out of pocket with this, but
send me the link, Claudia.
Even $25 or $2,500 will do. I'm not asking for 10% like your green
Claudia Sapp.
Claudia Sapp.
Close the doors. Close the doors to Kingdom Reign.
Close the doors until I don't be on boats around me because I got a fundraiser for these kids. We trying to make sure these boys and girls. Last week I hung out with the fellas and they were so sweet and humble. They were sharing their stories with us, and it was like I had to be strong with them. But I was like, damn, these kids have some hard lives. So we just want their prom to be
That's good.
Stress-free, no expenses.
Please send me the link. Please send it to me.
Oh, you don't gotta ask me twice. I'm gonna send it over there. Thank you, Carlos, and thanks for having me. I've been having a really good time with you guys. I really have.
No, we've been having a good time with you. The Raindrops has as well. And somebody in the comment left a message earlier, Claudia, saying they saw you at the play in Norfolk, Virginia, and that you did a good job. So, guys, please check out Claudia Jordan on stage. She is doing a great job. Dustin's podcast with our friend Ebony K. Williams. And make sure to tune into next Monday. I love you, Dustin. Love you, Claudia.
Love y'all so much.
All right.
Claudia
See y'all next week. Claudia Sapp. All right, Raindrops. Thank y'all for another successful Monday Night Live. I have a new interview dropping next week, not tomorrow. It'll be next week. Okay. And make sure y'all subscribe to my newsletter. It's in the episode description on this page. All right. Love you guys. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Enjoy your Monday. And shout out to my Norway folks. Mwah, 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 mwah.